Last episodes of this trilogy is about Princess Satine trying to convince Senate and Chancellor Palpatine that Mandalore neutrality is possible, and they have means to contain or even defeat this terrorist organization Death Watch. And Death Watch are participating with separatists in a plot to assassinate Satine and to this plot is about Republic intervene in internal affairs of Mandalorians, and Mandalorians, because of that, they will see this as violation of their neutrality policy, and they will banner and they will rally to this Death Watch organization as saviors, and they will eventually join thereafter separatist side. And of course, the plot is about this senator or minister from Mandalore, and they need to find a real recording of his testimony of Mandalore policy, and of course the testimony is stolen and it is also fabricated, but at the end. Obi-Wan and Satine are successful in showing that Mandalore neutrality is possible, and of course, Chancellor Palpatine wants to send troopers at all costs, clone troopers at all costs to Mandalore, because he's a Darth Sidious, and he is he is the leader of the separatist forces, but he's a hidden leader, of course. Count Dooku is a real known leader of separatists to the public, to the people of this galaxy, and of course this episode maybe was the weakest of all three in this trilogy, but we can see. Not the first time, the Coruscant, and the Coruscant is very interesting planet because this is probably the most modernized planet in the galaxy, and the whole planet is one big industrious urbanistic megalopolis, one big city in on the whole planet. And of course we see this that the crime, the syndicates, the gangs, uh, and of course the Senate, the high culture, all this is mixed in this really beautiful industrious planet, very climactic. So every episode on Coruscant is interesting because in original films. Maybe in the second trilogy in Phantom Menace and Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith, a little bit of Coruscant is shown, of course, but not too much. Not too much. I think that the good example of good TV show of Star Wars will be about Coruscant. For example, about gangs and low lives of Coruscant, and something like this, because usually movies or TV series about they don't show Coruscant too often. We see Naboo, we see Tatooine, we see Hoth, but Coruscant is always shown only to some in some perspective. And in the third episodes, we see that that this friendship between Obi-Wan and Satine was very truthful. They have very different characters, but still this is the series, the trilogy which show us not maybe all the Princess Satine, as Obi-Wan different approaches to different subjects. Maybe even Anakin was not aware of these issues between Obi-Wan and Satine, and even doubts and even desires to abandon the Jedi Order by Obi-Wan to live with Satine when he was much younger and had a mission on Mandalore with Qui-Gon. Uh, so this episode is showing us all these different and interesting things. Maybe one last argument about general suggestion to the Star Wars Clone Wars is that the separatist forces and Chancellor Palpatine as Darth Sidious is always ahead of everything. So he is always so he always controls everything in to such big extent that even the success of the Republic forces, for example, not sending to the neutral Mandalore their troops, was the only best option they could achieve, and this omnipotency of Darth Sidious, comparing to that he's only one Sith and he has, for example, one or two Padawans like Count Dooku or like Darth Maul. Is a little bit silly when we see this whole Jedi Order, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Yoda not seeing all of this. This is a little bit silly and a little bit naive. But still, this episode is showing us this new faction, Mandalore, this very interesting second-tier character, supporting character, Princess Satine of Mandalore, and we can understand better the Mandalore culture, specifically if we watched or if we will watch a Mandalore TV series. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this final episode.